So for my walkthrough, I'll be explaining how to recreate this radial gradient of Marrakesh. So to start out with, in my code pen, I've given this div a class of Marrakesh, and that's where I'll be applying this gradient. So to start off with, just basic stuff, set the width and height and background color of the div, just so that we can have that contrast with the blue of the gradients that we're about to apply. And in the background image property is where we set the radial gradients. So the first one is going to have the first color stop be 9 pixels. This is the innermost color stop, and it's midnight blue. And then the outside one, the next one will be transparent. So if I just put a semicolon here so we can see what that looks like, it's just going to be this little blue dot. The second radial gradient is a repeating radial gradient. And just to kind of quickly talk about this, each one of these color stops will be repeated for as much room as that repeating radial gradient has to grow. So you can see here it's taking up the full 1000 pixels of width and height. The magic really happens when we apply these properties at the bottom. So like background size, we set that first radial gradient to 30 by 30 size, and the next one to 90 by 90. So, and then the first one, it will be in the top left of the screen. That's what the background position property does. And then if we set background repeat to no repeat, you can see the base case here. I think playing around with this kind of helps also understand how it's set up. So you can see that the dots just continue along across the whole screen, and they'll do that through the middle of the bullseye sort of. And you can see that repeating radial gradient has been shrunken down so that we get these cut off circles, and that's what makes up the squares that we see in the pattern. If we do repeat Y, you can see sort of the same thing. We'll just move me over, and you can see that those dots continue down there, and the sides of the squares are generated right there as well. So if we remove that, then you get the full effect again of the Marrakesh repeating across the whole screen. So that is how you recreate that gradient, and I hope this was helpful.